Um, um, Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nyasha Zashi Meja. Alright, I just had to slow it down a bit because a lot of people kind of struggle pronunciating the word. So breaking it down more, like into smaller pieces, it's Nya Sha Za She. It's actually a Shona name. I'm from Zimbabwe, born in Zimbabwe. I was born in Zimbabwe, but I currently reside in South Africa. My name means God's grace. It simply means that God's grace, or it can be translated as God's mercy. Nyasha being grace or mercy, and Zashe, which is being of God, yes, of God. Zashe, of God. Um, so I am a visual artist, right? Um, I currently finished my degree in computer science and electronics. I know, right? Art, computers, totally different fields, fields that you don't even think could meet. They're just the worlds apart. But by passion, I am a visual artist. I have since fallen in love with drawing since I was in grade 3. Then it was just, playing around, seeing who can draw the best, drawing cartoons or like mock ups of who has, you know, who has a funny face or something like that. You know how as kids we used to banter and just fool around on drawing weird pictures of imitating a certain somebody or a certain friend. So it started then, and uh, I just started building up on that. I don't think then I imagined myself in this position where I am, actually running a company, art and design company. Yes, we'll get to that later. Anyway, with time, I think in grade 7, I moved to South Africa in 2005. 2008, sorry, which I started my grade 5 here. The school I went to, there was this module, there was this subject called arts and culture, and I really fell in love with it. And I tried to, I was really really passionate about it. That's one thing. Let's start there. I was really 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 passionate about it, and I remember my art and culture teacher used to like me, like she saw the passion I had and the drive I had for arts and culture, and she'd encourage me, help me come up with creative ideas towards our art project. Whenever I would go overboard on every arts and culture project that was brought to us. And I remember there was a competition that came around towards our final, towards the end of the term, fourth term. It was a drawing competition, and the arts and culture student just you just had to design something, draw something, and then it had to be voted for. Unfortunately, I don't even remember if I made it to the top 10, but I remember I was really hurt because I felt like I was that good and deserved more. But yeah, we live and we learn. I think I just got over that as a child, grade 7. I wouldn't say I would have. I had fully mastered or learned my emotions, on how to control my emotions, or I just get over my emotions. But I remember I was really sad. Like I was really really sad, and yeah, I'll move from that. I then went to varsity. No, sorry, I went to high school. Oh my goodness, I went to high school. Who moves from grade 7 to varsity? Wow, dash. I went to high school. The first high school I went to, well, not so much. I continued drawing, fooling around in my books, like whenever the teacher is teaching something or teaching us a new theory in mathematics, I'd be there doodling something. My concentration was not the best. I would literally just phase out and be in my own imagination. But that did not entirely affect my grades at that time. And then I remember I moved to a second high school, which is Queen's High School in Johannesburg. And in my grade 12 year, I decided to take visual art as an extra subject. The decision was very hasty and very risky, since visual art was started from grade 10. So I do not have a proper background of how the subject goes. It's not just drawing when it comes to the visual art subject. There's the theory based part where you have to learn how to analyze and get into the minds of old artists and their works, and explain what they were hoping to achieve. There's also a lot of history learning in it. And I was not a fan of writing. I was never a fan. I'm still not a fan of writing. Still not a fan of long processing writing. Subjects such as history used to choke me, literally choke me. So I then just took the decision with a friend of mine. Would go to the class during break because the class used to clash with some of our other subjects. So like I say, the class used to clash with some of our other subjects. So break time was the best time to go and attend the class. And the teachers were understanding so as to give us an extra lesson class during break time. So we'd literally just go in there, go over what the class went through throughout the day, and take notes, go home, study, and that was it. And the part that I loved the most was the drawing part, because I thought, I could just wing it. But it wasn't entirely that. I want to say that taking that subject was really life changing. I think it was a game changer in terms of developing my skills. I learned a lot from that teacher. I think his name, okay, I remember his name was Mr. Mujnik. Yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm really bad with names, but somewhere along those lines. And yeah, it really taught me how to really develop my shading skills and perfect them. And throughout that whole teaching, I was trying to come up with my own style. I remember I tried painting. Oh my god, it was horrible, 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 horrible. And I vowed to myself that I would never ever paint again. Well, anyway, we'll get to that later. But then I remembered from the first term I was averaging in the 80s, and I was in the top 10 of the class per term. And I remember on my final term, I actually was I had a very high average. I averaged around 80 something for the 3 terms. And I remember I had a distinction in my final year of metric, yeah. And I think that was the highlight. That was the only distinction I had of my results. Although the other marks are very good. They're not bad. They were actually okay. They were good. They were okay, yeah. Um, but yeah, and I then moved on to varsity. Actually, before varsity, I had to go through at sorry, my speaker. I had to go through a transition whereby I took a gap year in the year 2016. It was very tough for me. I remember I felt like I was falling back in life, watching your peers going on to varsity, working towards their achievements and their goals, and you're at home sitting. It was just so crushing for me, and I felt like I was really stagnant. I felt like I was really delaying my process. And then I think uh, throughout that year, sometime 3 months down the lane, I decided to start the Paragon. The Paragon was born in that year. I am someone who always aims to establish perfection in whatever they do. I try to, I always stress on how my artworks should be. I try to make them as perfect as I can. I remember still developing my skills. I get really frustrated whenever I draw something. The moment I would make a simple wrong stroke, I would literally just be out of my mind and crush a paper, throw it away, try again, try again, try again until I get close to what I'm hoping to get, you know. And at first, the Paragon was a collaboration between me, an artist, and a friend of mine at the time, called Luazi. Luazi, yes. He is a very, very, very good poet. Like his poems, like really spoke to me. We started off first with him writing a poem and me creating an art piece from that. And I think we worked on 3 or 2 pieces. Um, my favorite piece was titled "Here on the Road Not Taken." Yeah, on the road not taken. And it was just a beautiful piece. I will talk about it in another video explaining the story. I first have to get you know uh, clearance from him, and I get go from him to be able for me to divulge into that. And I think also it's best that he would explain it, because he would explain the poetry side. Yeah. So I will most probably explain the artwork part and the whole process in that. So we started off the Paragon, which basically means a being of absolute excellence. Um, yeah, I think that's no, that's when the Paragon was born. The Paragon was born in the year 2016.